Classic yellow cake with chocolate frosting is just the birthday go-to in most households. Last year I posted the recipe and people asked me could they use cake flour instead of all-purpose flour. So here is my classic yellow cake with chocolate frosting using cake flour instead of all-purpose flour by request. You're going to need 2.5 cups of cake flour, and I'm using Swan's Down. And to the cake flour, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. You're going to need 5 room temperature eggs, 1 cup of room temperature buttermilk. And then for flavorings, I like to use a tablespoon of vanilla bean paste, about a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, and 2 teaspoons of cake batter flavor. But you can use whatever flavor you want. And to your mixing bowl, you're going to add 1.5 sticks of softened butter. And to that, you're going to add 2 cups of granulated sugar. And once you get that in the bowl, you're going to mix those two together until just combined. And once you get it combined, you're going to add to that 1/4 cup of oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, coconut oil, whatever kind you want to use. And then you're going to cream all 3 of those together until it's light and fluffy, and it looks like this right here. That is what it should look like. And then to that, you're going to start to add your 5 room temperature eggs, one at a time, mixing well after each addition. And you should be mixing this batter at a medium speed throughout the duration. Now, once we add our flavorings, again, the flavorings I use is what I use. Please feel free to use whatever suits you, whatever you like, whatever your taste is. You don't need anybody's permission to change the flavorings of your cake. Now we want to start to add our flour mixture as well as our buttermilk. So we're going to start with half the flour. Put in half the flour and then drizzle in half of the buttermilk. And once you get that in, then you're going to repeat the process. Then you add the rest of the flour and the rest of the buttermilk, and you mix it till it's well combined, making sure you scrape the bowl and divide it up into 2 9-inch pans. I also want to mention that I did spray my 9-inch pans with baking spray, and these baked for about 45 minutes in total. Please watch part 2 for the complete recipe for the chocolate frosting and the assembly.